Hello, everybody. Welcome back into the DCL podcast, episode 12. Today, joining me, the director of baseball ops for the currently dancing UW Whitewater Warhawks. He's joining me out from Eastlake around the Cleveland, Ohio area. First year head coach of the Menasha River Rats this summer. Joining me today is Sam Martin. Sam, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I've been kind of keeping close tabs of the podcast and everything on YouTube for the league and everything. So I'm glad my time's finally come around, and I'm excited to kind of give it a little preview of what the Rats are going to be all about this summer.
So, Sam, just first up, just to get some background on you, tell me a little bit about yourself and your journey through the sport of baseball.
Yeah, it's definitely been a fun one. Definitely an up and down roller coaster as well. I played 4 years at the Lakeland University in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Was really set to become a police officer, just like my dad was looking at the academy and everything. And then my coaches sat me down one day and they said, "Sam, we want you to give this coaching thing a shot." And I thought about it, and I ended up making the move. So I got a graduate assistant position with Kaiser University in Brook Fordyce down in West Palm Beach, Florida, in the NAI. I did 2 years of that, and then just like everybody else, COVID really threw my plans out of whack. But Brooke said, stick around for a year. We don't have a spot for you on staff this year, but if you can stay close, let's try and do something in the future. So I ended up working 1 year at Palm Beach State, a junior college in Lake Worth, Florida, under Kyle Forbes. 1 year there, and I was back at Kaiser for 2 more years as their head developmental coach and JV coach. After 2 years of that, I joined the Warhawks last year as the director of baseball operations, and here I am still. So, it's been pretty great. I would definitely be remiss if I didn't talk about my summer baseball background as well. I think that's really been a huge part of my development as a coach and getting better and understanding kids. So I did start in the Northwoods with Sean Repay in Bismarck, North Dakota. From there, I was given an opportunity to be the head coach of the West Palm Beach Knights, where I did that for about 4 or 5 years in the South Florida Collegiate League, where I actually had the opportunity to coach one Caleb Durbin. So hopefully all your fans from Wisconsin will know Caleb and the Milwaukee Brewers third baseman. And then I did GRB, the travel baseball scene, last year after moving back up here, and great experience. Loved it a ton. Couldn't have no complaints about it, but I just missed that college summer league feel and missed recruiting the guys and working with those college level guys. So I kind of reached out to the league, see what they had available, and we were able to work something out.
Yeah, so how did you end up hearing about the league?
So Johnny Rivera, I think he is the vice president. I don't know his exact title with the Thundercats, but we played together. I was a senior when Johnny was a sophomore, so he heard I moved back to Wisconsin. I said, "I'm sorry, man. I'm coaching for GRB this summer," and then I came back around this year, and I said, "Hey, Johnny, is that offer still out there?" And we were able to work it out. So I was really, really excited.
So, as a head coach, what exactly do you bring to the table? What do you plan on bringing to the table with the Rats?
I think the biggest and greatest part that I'll bring is the experience of summer collegiate baseball. A lot of times, summer collegiate baseball is run by coaches that are fairly new to the game. We're doing this, and I said this to someone recently. This is our opportunity to show the world that we can handle a program, that we can handle developing players, and that we can handle being head coaches. So a lot of times it's younger coaches that are just getting out started, and to have 5 or 6 years of experience doing this and coming into it, I know that's probably a little bit different in the minority. The biggest thing with my approach with my guys and going back in all my years in Florida and in Bismarck was understanding that while winning does teach really good habits and success is a sequence, and there's a lot of things that happen that lead up to winning that we want to teach. Winning isn't always my first priority within summer baseball. At the end of the day, and I picked this right away when, when I was in other leagues, was um, at the end of the day, what our job is to take college baseballs from schools all across the nation and send them back better to their schools. And the reason for this is, one, that's our job as a coach, right? But also, you create connections with schools, and then they keep sending you players back. And there was times down in Florida when I would recruit for my rosters where I'd show up in September, starting ready to recruit, and I'd already have half of my team made up for me just because I had coaches that we had built a trust with. They enjoyed how their players were coming back prepared and growing and becoming not only better baseball players but smarter ones as well. So the profession of a collegiate summer ball baseball coach is selfishly wanting to win and show the world like, hey, I can coach, be a head coach and win baseball games. But ultimately, the job is to make these guys better, all 30 of them or how many we have, and make sure you give each one of them the time that they deserve.
So, is there anything that you're kind of looking to take from this summer on either a personal or on your path as a coach?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I've been thinking about it a lot. There's been a lot of preparation. There's been working on game day stuff and lineups and all these kind of things. But when I was at Kaiser University, and I can't give enough credit to Coach Fordyce at Kaiser University. For what he gave me as a head JV coach or head developmental coach, it was kind of like taking over a program, but with training wheels. So I was in charge of my own team, and we had a 40-man roster, buses, food, all that kind of stuff. That I did the same kind of stuff that big time program coaches do, and I also got to fail, and I failed a lot at it, and I messed up and I fumbled stuff up, and I got to see where my weaknesses were as a coach, and I would definitely say one of the bigger things was a consistency aspect to it, an intensity aspect to it, and then lastly an organizational aspect to it. So I've been talking with our guys as we've been coming in and recruiting them, and I tell every single one of them the expectation that they should have of me as their coach this summer is that I come every day prepared, every day working my absolute hardest, and every single day trying to improve. So like I've said before, these opportunities for us head coaches in the summer ball are really the only chance we get to show the world, like, hey, I can handle a program. I can make kids better. I can be organized. I can be a good leader. So that's really what I'm looking forward to the most, and just kind of being able to, self reflect as my abilities as a head coach.
So, I know you've been busy in the middle of a World Series run, but you said that you've talked to some of the guys on your team. Is there anyone who you're, who we should keep an eye on, either as as people affiliated with the league, or the fans should keep an eye on as well?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. One Chase Ousterhouse from UW Lacrosse. He had a spectacular year. UW Lacrosse is in the WIAC, and there's just a ton of respect between both of our programs. And Coach Schwartz over there just does an awesome job with that program. So to be able to get one of his weekend starters to throw for us, the Rats and myself this summer, I'm really, really ecstatic about. And for a kid, and he had a really, really good year too. Chase did, for a guy that had to fill in a role for a couple of really, really good arms in that program. On the position player wise. Is me. I'm really, really excited about Max Glusick. Max is one of the top prospects in the state of Wisconsin for this 2025 class. I actually coached his brother Cam last summer with GRB, and that's where the connection came from. And again, Max is going to UW Milwaukee with Coach Wagner, and again, there's some UW Whitewater ties there. So it's been cool to, have all these connections with creating guys and being able to help out, programs within the state and coaches that have, kind of helped me out with how to be a Warhawk coach and everything. And I do have to kind of give a shameless plug to Hudson Turner as well on the Apache, another Whitewater Warhawk. Hudson right now is behind a guy that's quite possibly the one of the greatest players in the history of our program in Matt Skolin, and he hasn't gotten a ton of time this year. But man, when the kid gets in there, it's exciting stuff. So I'm really excited to see how Hudson does this summer for the Apaches. Not really excited to face him with our pitchers, but there's definitely some excitement as not just only a coach in the league that's recruited to roster and everything, but seeing our some of our UW Whitewater guys out there and getting to see them play on a regular basis.
So you said you've been following the podcast, so you might know by now I like to end these off on kind of an open-ended question. So is there anything else that you wish to say either about yourself or about the Dairyland Collegiate League?
Mm, that's a good question. Well, um, I would just like to say, about the Dairyland Collegiate League that this is just such a really, really good opportunity for incoming freshmen, especially, but college baseball players as a whole. I can just suppose Florida kids and Wisconsin kids. And, when I was coaching kids and recruiting kids down in Florida, um, it wasn't always, it was just kind of automatic that they would just play summer college baseball. And as I've gone through and I've recruited and I've talked to high school kids and I've talked to college kids in the state, it wasn't as automatic as a thing. And, college baseball players, especially in the state or the incoming freshmen that we've talked about, have to realize the absolute, like tool and opportunity that the Dairyland creates for them. It's a different game. I've mentioned that I've coached JV baseball in Florida, which is essentially junior college, and I have coached the junior college. So I've coached a lot of those 18 and 19-year-old freshmen and sophomore baseball players, and it's a jump, man. It's a jump offensively, it's a jump as a pitcher, and it's a jump defensively. The speed of the game picks up. So if you're that kid coming in, or if you're that kid that hasn't gotten a ton of opportunities, to get opportunities to get ABs against college quality pitching or to pitch against quality college hitters is really, really important for your development and your ability to get better. And when I was playing, we didn't have this opportunity in the Dairyland. You were either in the Northwoods or you were going somewhere else. So by creating the Dairyland and these teams and this opportunity that's out there, there's a lot more opportunity for younger guys to be able to come in, to be able to compete right away, and to just kind of take their chops in the summer rather than when they show up in the fall and they're dealing with full grown 22 and 23-year-old men.
Yeah, all right. Well, Sam, I thank you very much for your time. Your River Rats, they open up their season. By the time this comes out, it'll be tomorrow, but today on Monday, it's a couple days down the line. They open the season on the 5th, on Thursday. They take on the Wisconsin Cheese Kings at 6 p.m. Sam, thank you so much again, and we'll see you guys next time here on the DCL podcast.